Welcome to the weekly press briefing of the Kosovo Specialist Chambers, where we aim to provide journalists with an update on the latest developments at the court and the opportunity to ask questions. In the case of Ismet Batyari, Sabit Yanuzi, and Haji Shala, the trial panel on the 25th of October set the date for the start of the trial for Thursday, the 14th of November, 2024. At the start of the hearing on that day, the presiding judge will open the trial and the prosecution will read the indictment or a summary thereof and ask the accused if they understand the charges. The presiding judge will give them the opportunity to confirm their initial pleas of not guilty and will then inform them of their rights before the court. The panel has allocated 2 hours for the opening statements of the prosecution. Following the prosecution, the Shala and Yanuzi defense teams indicated that they would like to make their opening statements at this stage of the trial. The Batyari defense announced that they prefer to make their opening statement after the closing of the prosecution's case. The presiding judge allocated 1 hour to the Yanuzi defense and 30 minutes to the Shala defense for their opening statements. The opening statements will continue on Friday, the 15th of November, if necessary. The presentation of the prosecution's case will start on Monday, the 9th of December, 2024 at 9:30 in the morning. Any motions that require a decision prior to the start of trial have to be filed by latest 1st of November. The panel has announced it may rule orally on such motions prior to the opening statements. Bearing in mind the importance of the principle of publicity in these proceedings, the panel has directed the parties to present their opening statements in open session to the greatest extent possible. On the 28th of October 2024, the president of the Specialist Chambers, Judge Ekaterina Trendafilova, dismissed a motion by Mr. Haji Shala in its entirety. After the trial panel had communicated potential dates for hearings in the case, Mr. Shala had requested information on courtroom availability with a view to minimizing the prospect of trials being unduly long. The president noted that the legal framework of the Specialist Chambers provides that it is for the relevant trial panel to schedule court hearings. She pointed out that the trial panel had clarified that its request for prosecution and defense to be available on certain dates was not a determination of the expected duration of the trial. Judge Trendafilova further observed that Mr. Shala did not raise any arguments in relation to actual delays in the proceedings and recalled that the legal framework of the Specialist Chambers provides sufficient guarantees and remedies through which Mr. Shala's concerns may be raised if they materialize. On the 30th of October, the public redacted version of the trial panel's decision on Mr. Batyari's request to disclose certain material to an expert in order to facilitate a medical assessment of Mr. Batyari was published. The panel noted that the defense in their request did not specify a legal basis for the disclosure of the material and that their request was broadly formulated and lacked substantiation. As such, the panel rejected the request and invited the Batyari defense to file a properly motivated request for the disclosure of the material. The panel also provided the defense with guidance on structure and relevant content of such a request. In the trial of Hashim Thaci, Kadri Veseli, Recep Salimi, and Jakub Krasniqi, 6 witnesses testified this week. As per the summary provided by the prosecution, Fatmir Sopi was a KLA member involved in the organization of KLA structures in the Golak region within the LOP operational zone and was instrumental in the creation of Brigade 153. He testified mostly without protective measures about the creation, structure, training, and operations of Brigade 153. Following Mr. Sopi's testimony, 3 witnesses testified under protective measures and mostly in private session. Some of these testified via video link. Yesterday afternoon, Haji Mezreku took the stand. He was the 102nd witness to testify in court in the trial so far, and he completed his testimony in public this morning. After this, Nuruddin Ibishi resumed his testimony, which began last week, answering questions from the defense. The next hearing in the Thachi et al. Trial is scheduled for Monday, the 4th of November, starting at 9 in the morning.